Hey everybody, it's Emily at ARG Schooling, and today I'm going to be talking about what I'll be reading in July. So for the most of this year, I've been pulling a card out of my TBR jar to kind of guide me on what I should be reading. And like each of the cards is a prompt with like a list of books from my shelves, because the goal, as always, is to read the things that I own. And so far, it's been going well until I hit June, and I didn't read a single thing that I pulled off of my TBR jar card. So it didn't happen. I had too many other things going on, and it wasn't meant to be. So I decided that since I'm still like in the middle of a lot of things, that I would take the month off from pulling a card. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to still read other stuff. It just means that like I have to like give myself the space. I don't want to pull another card and then not read anything from it because I just had other things happening. So what do I plan to read in the month of July? So many things. Like I have a lot going on. First up, I want to talk about what we're reading for the book club. The ARG Booked Book Club reads something every single month from January through October. We read a book together and we talk about it here on my channel. We also have a Discord where we chat about the book in real time as we're reading. And this month, we're reading something I'm really excited about. We're reading Wayward by Amelia Hart. This is a book that I've been anticipating for ages, and it's just so pretty. It looks like something I'm going to love. This is a story about witches, and it's set in 3 different time periods in history, and we're following 3 different women in each of these time periods and how their stories entwine. I'm not really sure how they're going to come together, but this isn't like regular, ordinary witch magic. This is like nature magic, I think, and they call it Wayward, and I just think this is going to be so good. Like, I've heard nothing but good things about it, and I'm really excited. So we're reading this together in the month of July, and we'll have a live discussion on this channel on the first Saturday in August. Most of what I'm reading this month, honestly, is related to the Build Your Library Level 10 update, because I just have a lot of stuff I still need to get through, and like it's getting close. Like I can see the end in sight, but I'm still like up to here. So right now I'm reading 24 Hours in Ancient Rome. This is by Philip Matizak. I read 24 Hours in Ancient Egypt a month or 2 ago, I think, and I loved it. And this is excellent. If you ever wanted to know what it was like for an everyday, ordinary person to live in the ancient period, whether it's Egypt or Greece or Rome, I think there's one in China, this is a great way to get a feel for what that was like. You follow a different person who has a different occupation for each of the hours in a 24-hour period. So like you get to see a really good scope of what it was like to live then. You follow people like a baker or a slave girl or imperial messenger, and so you see all these different perspectives. It's really cool. Love this. I definitely want to get the rest of the series just for my own benefit. Then I still don't know how this is going to fit into the level, but I really wanted to read it, and that is From Here to Eternity, Traveling the World to Find the Good Death by Caitlin Doughty. I just love Caitlin Doughty and what she does, and I don't know. I've had this in my stack. I have not picked it up yet. I don't know how it will fit into the world mythology and religions section of the level, but like I keep thinking it will fit, so I need to read it and figure it out. But this is exactly what it sounds like. It's going around the world and talking about like how different cultures view death and like the different ways that people like prepare for death and what I think about the afterlife as well and that sort of thing. I'm not sure about the afterlife stuff, so I don't know. I keep thinking it'll work in somehow, but I don't know how yet. I have these 3 books. I need to choose one because it's going to be in the nature art section of the curriculum. I wanted a like nature memoir kind of a thing, So I have Worlds of Wonder, and this is by Amy Nezuko-Matado, and this one sounds really great. All of these are basically just memoirs, but about like a person's like respect for nature, how they got into nature, like why they love nature, that sort of thing, but also stuff about nature as well. So this one is in praise of fireflies, whale sharks, and other astonishments. And it just sounds amazing, and it's so pretty. Like, this one's the one that's really speaking to me, honestly. But I also have The Home Place. This is Memoirs of a Colored Man's Love Affair with Nature by J. Drew Lanham. And I have How I Became a Tree by Sumana Roy. So all three of these sound great. I need to decide which one I'm going to include. I'm probably going to like read a chapter or two from each and go based on that. I also have Hurricane Lizards and Plastic Squid by Thor Hansen. I'm pretty sure this is going to be in the level 10 update. I just have a good feeling about it. This is to do with the animal and plant world and how they are adapting and changing because of climate change. I have a book coming today. It's not here yet, but I ordered it the other day because I was like, I need a book about that. So also, to go with the level 10 science update, I have A Planet of Viruses, and this one is by Carl Zimmer. I don't know, I just feel like I wanted to include something about viruses and how they affect humans and what we are learning about them and that sort of thing as we're covering that in the science. It just felt right, so that's one of the things I'm adding in. I'm still not sure exactly what I'm changing in the last half of the level for literature. Most of those books I didn't want to get rid of necessarily, but as I'm shifting things around, I'm like, okay, I might need something else, and so that something else might be this. I have Children of Ragnarok. This is the first book in the Runestone Saga by Cinda Williams Chima. I've never read anything by this author, but I've heard really good things. And this is like a brand new series they have out. I think maybe the first 2 books are out now. I'm not sure. But I know this has to do with Vikings, and I don't know, it just felt like it might be the right fit for this level. I wanted to read at least a little bit of it and see if I feel like it's a good fit. And if so, we'll see. And then I also have Femina. This is a new history of the Middle Ages through the women written out of it. I've been looking at the 3 books I had as potentials to go in the level or to replace Distant Mirror, because I know a lot of people struggled with that book, so I wanted to find something a little more readable. And of the things that I have in my stack, I feel like this is potentially the best fit. So I'm 99.9% sure this is the book I'm going with, and I need to read it soon. So Femina is a really readable book. Like, I've been flipping through it and I'm just like really pleased with, like, this is just exactly what I was looking for. And this focuses on women and the women who were basically written out of history. So it sounds really interesting, and I've heard a lot of people tell me that this is definitely a good fit. So feel pretty good about that. As if I didn't have enough going on just with that. It's Summerween in July, and I did it last year and I had so much fun. I really just love any excuse to read horror. And because I've really been in the mood for that lately, and I didn't see a way to make it happen, and then suddenly I remembered that Summerween exists. So Summerween is a readathon. It's placed from July 7th through the 13th, and the goal is just to read horror. There's prompts and everything. I don't know how well I'm going to stick to the prompts. My goal was to read from the books that I have gotten through Nightworms. I do have a couple others that I wanted to get to as well, but the goal was really, like, I want to read some of my Nightworms books because I've been getting them, and I haven't really read that many of them yet. So this first one is not actually a Nightworms, but it's just one that I really wanted to get to, and that is Disappearance at Devil's Rock by Paul Tremblay. I've been wanting to read more Paul Tremblay. I haven't gotten a chance to this year yet, and so I'm really excited that I might be able to squeeze this in. I think this is more of a thriller than a horror, which is great because it fits the thriller prompt for Summerween. But I don't really know exactly what this is about. But I hear it's good. This is one that a lot of people have said is one of his better books. I hope that's true, and I'm going to try to make that happen. Then the rest of these are all things I got through my Nightworms. I have Tell Me I'm Worthless. This is by Alison Rumfitt. This is a possession story. Ooh, the nameplate will not stay in the book. This is a possession story. It is also a trans story, I believe, and I just have heard really good things about it. I love a good possession story. I think this is going to be one that I enjoy. It has a lot of the same, like, vibes as My Best Friend's Exorcism, except much darker, which makes me excited. I want to read something that's going to really freak me out. Then, I don't know if I'm going to get to this as well, because I really don't know that I have time for more than one thriller. But I also really want to read Mothered. This is by Zoja Stage, and it speaks to me. This is a story about a woman whose mother moves back in with her, and her mother is not a good person, and her mother is manipulative and entangles her in some things. And it gets weirder and weirder, I think, as the story progresses. And I just, you know, I feel like this book is my vibe, and I just really want to pick it up. Then I need to read a novella. I have 3 options for that. I have Dark Harvest, which I don't remember the author, but I have the ebook. And the reason I'm like maybe going to read that is because you need to read something in the dark. And for me to do that, it needs to be on my Kindle. I can't fathom how else to read in the dark if I don't, unless it's on my Kindle. Because it's backlit, so I'd be able to see it. I usually read at night on my Kindle anyway, so I think I'm going to try to read Dark Harvest, which is a novella that's set in the fall. It's set, like, I think during Halloween, and I don't really know too much about it, besides it has something to do with revenge. It's a vengeance, sort of Pumpkinhead-ish story, I think. I don't know. So it's probably the one I'm most likely to get to, but the ones that I have from my Nightworms that I'm like leaning towards, I have Rootwork by Tracy Cross. This is from the Conjure series, book 1, and this has to do, this is historical, which is why I'm leaning towards it too, because this is set in 1889. It has to do with like root magic. Sounds like something I would enjoy. And then I also have Festival by Christopher Golden and Tim Leben. And this just sounds really fun. It's illustrated, it's short. The Valhalla Music Festival commemorating a long ago Viking slaughter. And so they're at this music festival, and they somehow like reanimate the Vikings that participated in the slaughter. And they bring Valhalla to them, and like massacre ensues, I think. So you got like a bunch of people at a music festival and ghost Vikings killing everybody. So it sounds like a good time. So I don't know. I don't know if I'll get to anything other than that. I did also want to try to squeeze in Fourth Wing, because everybody and their grandmother has been reading it, and I'm just like, I'm feeling like maybe I should give it a go. I have the audiobook through Scribd, and I don't know if this is for me. It's billed as a romantasy, which is not generally my thing, but I've also heard a lot of people saying it has Hunger Games vibes, and that is absolutely my thing. I loved the Hunger Games, and I've always wished there was something else like that that was on par with that, writing-wise, and just like, I want that. I don't know if Fourth Wing is going to be that. I've heard very like, you either love it or you hate it. So will I love it or will I hate it? We're gonna find out, because I'm gonna try my best to squeeze it in. Even if I just like listen to a little bit here and there over the course of the month, it might happen. So we'll see. I'm gonna give it a shot, and if I DNF it, I will let you guys know my thoughts. So that is it for what I plan to read in July. It's a lot. Can I lift it? I don't know. Here we go. Here's everything I'm hoping to get to in July. It's a whole lot, and it's very heavy, so I'm going to put it back down. So let me know in the comments what you plan to read this month. Is there anything that you're just really excited to pick up? Are you participating in Summerween? Should I vlog? If I do Summerween, like if I really commit to it, should I vlog what I'm reading? I don't know. I haven't done a reading vlog in ages, but we'll see. But yeah, anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Happy reading. Bye!